Hey guys, and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about Guns of Glory. We're going to get into a bunch of different topics. However, first, we're going to get into the basics of the game as well as strategy in order to grow your account quickly and make it proper. So, as you can see, we can start off with several basic functionalities of the game that are key to your success. That's going to be your city level, gathering resources, participating in different events, and what kind of equipment you're using. Now, that's really just basic stuff to get through the game, and I'm going to get into a lot more topics later on in other videos that will also be part of the same stream. So, getting set up, you have your castle. Granted, this is going to be common sense. You need to upgrade your castle in order to unlock different tiers troops. Now, your tier troops all have different abilities and different power levels depending on what tier you train. So if we take a look at some T10 distance troops, you'll see that their stats. You have 5 health, 9 attack, 5 defense, 8 speed. So basically I can break this down very quickly without running through all of the different troop types. Distance, they're going to do the killing. There's 2 different types of distance, and there's 2 different types of each troop within that troop type. So you're going to have distance troops that kill infantry, and you're going to have distance troops that kill cavalry. But these are going to be your run and gun kind of killing guys. You're going to move into your barracks. Your barracks are going to be your infantry. Your infantry absorb all the damage. They're strong and healthy, but they don't do much killing. You're going to have several different types of infantry as well within this type. You're going to have pikemen who have increased defense against riflemen, and musketeers who have increased defense against light cavalry. And just give me 1 second here. Okay, and then we're going to have the cavalry. Cavalry are going to be your increased defenses. They're going to be like a medium tier kind of troop. They're going to have good defenses and good attacking abilities. However, they're not going to be fantastic at one thing or the other. And then there's going to be 2 types of cavalry within that. Then you're going to have artillery, and these guys are going to be your trap killers. So they specialize in killing traps. Some sit in the back, some sit in the front. Always train them that sit in the back because you don't want them to die. You don't want them to waste your hospital capacity. So train them in the back and you'll never have to worry about them dying unless your entire march dies. Now, moving into the next part of the basics, we're going to have your equipment. So let's go ahead and look at the forge. Here we have the different fragments that create designs. Designs tell you what you can forge with your available designs. You basically have your gathering gear, you'll have some combat gear, and then you'll have some other random stuff in between. Really only worry about your combat gear as well as your gathering gear, and then also buying the construction gear that will help lower the resource requirements in order to get higher castle levels, better troop tiers. So as you can see here, this equipment tab will show you what equipment you have already equipped. It'll show you the stats for them. Now I can basically run through this and tell you which gear is good, what stats are good, and what stats aren't good. So you can try to look at what designs you have and make an assumption on what is good to go into and build based on that, but I'll do that in a couple more minutes. Moving forward, we have gemstones. Now gemstones are going to be giving you additional combat boosts. You have the justice and the chivalry, not chivalry, the hope gems. Justice and hope. You have hope, which is going to be a lower level tier, and then you're going to have justice, which is going to cost more money but give you higher bonuses on the top end and as well as the low end. And then you're going to have the gemstones that go into your construction gear, and this will help make your research a little cheaper. But not cheap because everything in this game is hella expensive. And then you're going to have your materials. This will pretty much tell you what materials you have to craft and help you make decisions on what gear you're going to get based on that. But when you dismantle your gear to create new gear, you will get all the resources you put into it back out of it, but then you will not get the scrolls. So that's just something to take in mind. However, it is very beneficial to help you get to that next tier up if you're not quite there. So that will cover pretty much the basics. You're also going to have some traps lying around there, some research to help out. You're going to have some guards, your airship. So let's go ahead and take a look at your guards. We're going to do this really quickly. Yeah, the captain, war masters, weapons master, master of defense, and strategist. These 4 will be the 4 that you take into battle. So based on how much you're willing to spend, how easy it is to go up, take a look at your different availability spots and make a decision on which heroes guards to get based on that. So for the green, they're easiest to get 3 stars. 3 stars give you 3 sets of different stat bonuses. I highly recommend that if you're going to be getting into guards, start with the green and then work your way up to blue and purple as you go. However, starting off with Maurice of Orange, you can see his 2 stars distance health. That's an absolute trash. Distance is your killing. They don't care about surviving, so don't worry about them. They stand in the back of the battlefield. I've got Gustavus Adolphus here. We've got infantry health and infantry defense, and his 3 star is good. Cavalry health, because you want them to survive as well. They're a good medium tier. Now 4 stars, probably never get that because distance damage, distance defense, it's kind of worthless of my time if I want to spend $12,000 to get that. A lot of people have been using Jusac. Jusac is good, but he's only good to 2 stars. 3 stars is not worth it. But 4 and 5 stars is for him. Now let's move over to Weapons Master. It goes along the same line. This is going to be your combat, your attacking guy. Definitely a good idea to get Lady Silver up to 3 stars if you can. I switched over to Duke of Buckingham just because I can get better stats, and I did the math. Duke of Buckingham at 3 stars with a little higher level on the top end stat of distance attack would be the best guard to choose for my current setup. Master of Defense is going to be your defense guy. I just have Colonel Esserts just because I already have him at 3 stars. State Army Attack is going to be just extra attack bonuses on your troops when defending. Trap damage is nice, but we can get into traps. That's a whole nother discussion for itself. You either love them, you hate them, or you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Which is a great question with what I'm doing with my life currently. Still trying to figure that out as we speak and waste more of my money. Going in the strategist, highly recommend you strive for Madame Lenoy, 4 stars. March capacity plus 23k. That's a huge bonus. It's an extremely expensive guard, but if you can do it, do it. Then we got Jules Mazarin, which will be another great bonus. It's a little higher on the 4 stars, but then again, it's going to be purple. It's going to be a lot more expensive to get there. But in another video later tonight, I will show you how you can get guards quickly, easy, and cost effective. So that's going to cover the guards, and we can move over into the airship. So airship is a huge power house for your first and your primary combat march. So you have different assault skills, and this is going to be primarily what you're focusing on. The lower down we get in here, the higher the airship requirement will be for level, and it'll just be a lower skill level until you get to a higher ability. And then Guardian, there are 2 skills that will affect you on both attacking and defense. I highly recommend you get them as well as you can. But I'll quickly go ahead and show you what I use for my attacking and defense and kind of help you make a decision based on that for what you want to have in your airship. So the first 4, really basic, please have them. They're highly beneficial. But then we can get into what comes after based on your airship level. I go distance versus cavalry damage. I think that's a must-have. If you can kill the second tier of your enemies, you can kill the first tier, and it helps you win that battle. And then after that, again, we want to kill the enemies. If you can get through the first 2 levels, there's nothing holding you back from victory. Go get it, boy. Go get it. And then, if you have that extra availability just because you're so cool like that, and like me, go ahead and don't even worry about having your bottom tier distance. Go ahead and get that victory royale for you, or however we call it in Guns of Glory. Go ahead and get that cavalry to do the killing for you. Same thing pretty much for defense. Don't know why that's here. Ignore that, and that's pretty much what you're going to have. This should cover pretty much everyone's airship, but don't want to leave them empty, so why not put them back in? Now you're probably like, yo, Cap, why don't you have your wounded conversion in? Why don't you put levels into the other 2? Well, because I don't give a fuck about the other 2. They do barely anything for me, so why should I even worry about them? Now, as far as your march capacity and wounded conversion go, if you're on defense, you're not losing troops. Now, KVK, go ahead and put wounded conversion in right now, you motherfucker, because that does help you, okay? Wounded conversion for KVK is the only time you want defense to have wounded conversion. I highly recommend it if you don't want to die. Now, that should pretty much cover the basics to the game. This game is pretty basic. It's just like King of Avalon, which I've put too much time, money, and depression into. So now we're moving into the exact same game. I hope you guys enjoyed the first installment of this video called Captain Cowboy Has Depression Part 2.